Here we're going to take a look at single folder structure in Sage ERP X3. This is a key advantage X3 has over software like Line 500, Sage 1000 and Sage 200 in that it allows you to have a single data folder structure for multiple companies within the system. As a result, you are able to share setup and also easily share data across different companies. Here I'm going to show you a few different ways this can work and give you some examples. What you see in this particular example is a group structure with multiple companies in it. In turn, these companies can have multiple sites within them. The sites can be lots of different things, ranging from physical stock locations to financial departments. Using X3, you can run a profit and loss account and balance sheet, for example, at a site level, making it easy to have multiple sites for different divisions of a company, all accessible from one central location. It is also possible to group together any companies from a reporting perspective. As you can see here, there is a group of these two companies, while on this side of the screen there is another group. If I needed to, I could create a third group, looking at Company 020 and Company XS. You can have as many groups as you want, and companies can also sit within more than one group. There are some areas of the system that will already make a lot of sense, but let's take a look at the finance areas. They may be running different charts of accounts, so if I move across here, what you can be assigning to a company within your business is a series of potentially different charts of accounts. Each company will have its primary chart, and in this case, the accounting model that I assign to companies will use this chart of accounts called BRI. But I've also got another one called BRA, which they are also using, and a third one here called INT. The second one could be a different view of the data, so they can view the charts of accounts in multiple ways. It could be the chart of accounts that they had before a restructure in a previous system, and that's the one that is done quite frequently for companies that have moved across from another system to X3. We can keep their historic chart of accounts, so we do a like-for-like comparison, but the company also wants to restructure in how they move forward. The parent feature is useful here, because we can have different companies in the system that all have different charts of accounts, but all share the same parent ledger. They can even be in a different currency. As you can see with this example in US dollars here, what that means is each company can run in isolation, running their own chart of accounts, but in real time and automatically. Any transactions that are posted are mapping to these other charts of accounts. If we look here at an aged debt inquiry, what we were seeing is the situation for the customer that we're in, but we're seeing it in relation to my default company and the site or division within that company. If I change that information out and say, actually that's a consumer we trade with in other parts of the group, and look at the debt situation now, it shows that there's a lot more items now appearing, and actually that situation is not too bad at all. Most of it is current, although they've got a few items here that are a bit older that we weren't seeing before. You're now seeing how much that customer owes the whole group, rather than just one particular company. The same would apply on the payables side against a supplier. Products are another example of the multi-company sharing. I can run an inquiry from here, which is a stock by site inquiry, and as before, by default, it's showing me how much stock we're holding in my default location. We can see how much we're physically holding, how much would be available to promise, how much is already allocated, how much is on order, and so on, all the different key bits of information. What I can do is to remove this and ask, how much have we got across the group? Depending on my user permissions and what I'm able to see, I will see how much stock of that product we're holding in different companies, in different countries even, across the group.